Hello students, welcome to fourth module of Sweden Curve. Today we will be covering the remaining parts of Sagni Swed and indications and contraindications of Sweden. Kuti Swed, as the name suggests, is performed in a kuti. It is another type of Sweden Curve in which a specially prepared chamber is required. It is of Ruksha Swed kind and the room prepared for this particular procedure differs from Jentax Swed in two ways. One, it does not have any windows to allow cross ventilation, and second, the patient is supposed to lie down at the center of the room. Construction of the kuti. It is in round, circular, or cylindrical shape. It should not be very big or very small, devoid of any windows, and a bed is kept at the center of the room where the patient is laid down. The room is filled with small heaters or angiti, which can be used to produce smokeless heat. Materials required include will be putty, a bed, towels, blankets, and small heaters for lighting up of the required herbal wood. Medicines, prescribed oil if any, and wood of the prescribed medicine. The patient is given Sarvanga Bhyamu if advisable. The wood of the herbs is burnt inside the heater or angiti till they are red hot and smoke free. They are then placed all around the kuti on the floor. The patient who has been anointed properly is then taken inside the kuti and asked to lay down on the bed, which is covered with a clean cloth. The patient is then covered with a cloth or a blanket if required. The heaters which are burning smoke free provide the dry heat. After covering with a woolen blanket, the patient is educated about the signs to be observed in this particular procedure. When the symptoms of stiffness, heaviness, etc. are reduced, the patient is sweating properly, then they can come out of the kuti. This particular procedure is beneficial in those type of vadvyadi which are due to involvement of kapha or arm. Karshu Swed is again a Ruksh kind of Swed in which Swedan is achieved through the heat coming from burning of Vat Kaphagnu medicines which are burnt inside a specially designed pit. A bed made up of ropes, for example, charpai which is available in villages, is kept at the mouth of this pit. This particular pit is narrow at the mouth and wide at the base. The procedure involves anointing of the patient properly while the woods are burnt at the base of this pit, and the dry heat coming from that pit induces Swedan. It is again beneficial in Kafaj and Am Dosh Janya Vatvyadis. Poop Swed. The term poop means a well. It is a Ruksh kind of Swed which is similar to Karshu Swed in a way that we have to dig a pit to induce Swedan. The difference is that it is cylindrical in shape and the depth of this pit is twice the size of a bed we use for giving Sweden, that is about 12 feet deep. The pit is properly cleaned, plastered, and filled with dry fecal matter of elephant, horse, donkey, or cow, etc. It is not to be filled till the mouth of the pit. This fecal matter is then burned till the fire becomes smoke free, after which a bed is kept over the mouth of the pit and patient is asked to lie down and then covered with a blanket. As described, it is a Ruksha Swed, and Swedan in this particular kind of Swedan is stronger than that of Karshu Swed. Kumbi Swed. It is a type of Vashpa Swed and is given with the help of a kumbi or pot. This pot, which is used to induce Swedan, is to be buried in the floor up to half or two-thirds of the kumbi. Over this kumbi, a bed is kept or a chair is used, which allows the steam to pass through and is not very high or far away from the mouth of the kumbi. This kumbi is filled with the decoction of the prescribed medicine, after which iron balls are heated till red hot and then dipped in the decoction which is filled in the kumbi. The steam thus released due to submerging of red hot iron balls helps in Sweden. Holak Swed is again a Ruksh type of sudation or Sweden in which the heat is given with the help of a specially prepared heater. This heater shall be so designed that it can be adjusted under the bed and shall cover the entire base or the floor which is covered by the bed. Or alternatively, the procedure can be performed with the help of a multiple small heaters which can be scattered or placed across the floor of the bed. And this procedure gives sedation to whole body of the patient. These heaters or the heater is filled with dry faces of animals just like in coop suede and are burnt till it is smokeless and red hot. Properly anointed patient is asked to lie on the bed of ropes, that is charpai, and sedation is given. With this we have covered Charakokta Triyodash Sagni Swed. We have already completed Niragni Swed and almost all the Chaturvid Swed are also covered, as these Triyodash Swed are the ones which get spread in them. The only difference is Upnaha Swed, which we will cover now. The term Upna in Upnaswed is derived by adding upsarg up to nha dhatu, which literally means bandhan or to tie. Chakrapani has classified Upnaswed into two types, while Sushruta has taken it as an individual type in Chaturvid Swed. In Niragni type of Upna, the powder form of drugs is applied directly on the body parts by mixing them with suitable dravya like kanji etc. This paste is applied without being exposed to Agni, while in Sagni type, this paste of medicine is exposed to Agni before being applied. According to Dallan, while commenting on Sushruta Chikitsa Sthan 32, the possible varieties of Upnaswed are Pralep, Pradhe, and Ale. Pradhe is the variety where roots and leaves of the trunk, which are vatagna in nature, are crushed into kalka form by grinding with kanji or amlaras dravya. It is applied in the form of a thick layer after adding sandal. Care should be taken that it needs to be cleaned immediately after it dries. It should be washed and not scrubbed off. Pralave is a thin layered cold application of paste of herbs. The application of this paste may remain wet or even be allowed to be dry. Meanwhile, alep falls between pradhe and pralep. That is, it is of medium thickness, can be applied hot or cold, but should be removed immediately after drying. In certain conditions, it may be allowed to remain for longer duration also. With this, we conclude various types of Swedan and will discuss Swedan Yogya and Ayogya. While studying Sweden Yogya, it is important to keep in mind that Sweden is indicated in almost all the Vataja and Kapha disorders, and it is essential to perform Sweden Karma as a part of Purkam while undergoing Shodhan therapy. In coming slides, we will be discussing various indications for Sweden Yogya. Sweden is advisable in Kaphaj disorders like pratishyaya rhinitis, CAS, that is cough, pharyngitis, dyspnea, hiccups, and cold, common cold, and Shaityprachiti both. It is advisable in various diseases of neck and head, distension of abdomen, constipation, Amaj disorders like colicky pain, Udargaurav, that is feeling of heaviness, body ache, stiffness of flanks, back, waist, foot, and knee. Various other Vata disorders like osteoarthritis, that is Sandhigat Vata, sciatica, contracture, hardness, stretching, stiffness, numbness, cramps, and tremors. Various neurological disorders like facial paralysis, monoplasia, hemiplegia, dysuria or anuria, and inflammation. According to Acharya Sushrut, Swedan can be performed as part of Purkarm, as part of Paschatkarm, and as part of Purv and Paschatkarm both. It is indicated as Purkarm in Shodhan, Nasse, and Basti. Shodhan means woman and Virechan. As Paschatkarm in Rit Shalya, that is removal of Shalya or foreign body. Anupadrav Moodgarv, Samyak Prajakta Kal. And as Purv and Paschatkarm both in Bhagandar, Arsh, and Ashmari. Swedan Ayogya or contraindications. It must be kept in mind that being hot in nature, Swedan karma is contraindicated in most of the Pitta Vyadhis and those conditions where Pitta gets aggravated. For example, Swedan karma should not be administered in people who have taken too much alcohol. In Sukumar, like pregnant women and those suffering from Raktapit, Kamla, Udar Rog, Timir, Atisar, Prameh, inflammation due to infection, rectal prolapse, and conditions where Vish Avastha is there. It is also contraindicated in Medasvi, that is fatty, Trishnarth, that is thirsty, Kshudarth, that is hungry, and those having pethic constitutions, and in those having dry skin. It is also contraindicated in a state of anger and anxiety, and in those who are weak, dried up, that is Ruksha, and whose ojas has been reduced. There are certain body parts which are contraindicated for Swedankarma. That is, Swedankarma should not be administered over Vrishan, Hriday, and Netra. If it is very essential to administer Swedan in these parts, it should be of Mridu in nature over scrotum and moderate over Hriday and Netra. Specially designed procedures like Urobasti or Hridebasti and Tarpan are advisable to be performed for Hriday and Netra. And also, it is important to do Marma Raksha Vidhan while taking any procedure which is of very high potency while we talk about Swedankar. With this, we conclude the lecture on various forms of Swedankarm and Swedan Yogya and Ayogya. In the coming lectures, we will be covering Samyak, Asamyak, Atiyog Lakshan and other topics. I thank you all for patient hearing.